when I was younger. Oh yeah, I had a brother who switched over from the Binding of Isaacs to Dota 2. Dota 2, the best game for you. So, Joe, how many months did it take before you realized that Dota 2 was the premier PC game of all time?
Well, Dota 2 is just one of those MMO type RPGs. I know that it's not
MMOs?
I know that it's not. Well, I know that it's not
Go ahead.
technically a multi-massive online role-playing game necessarily, but it's just one of those games. It's like it in the sense that I feel like people get lost in it and they lose their lives and they just end up becoming junkies. And
well, I mean, look at me. Look how well dressed that I am. And I played Dota 2 consecutively for 22 months. I mean, the Binding of Isis. The Binding of Isis is, you have a machete and you just hack at stuff like in a Zelda game, but it's just like a replay of old tropes, as they might say.
You don't hack at anything.
It's just like look at this right here. This is muscle fitness, and I played all 150 heroes in Dota 2. I played all 100 heroes. I'm like Bruce Lee right now. It's just like that, I've made 7 solo albums, and I can play every. I drank Diet Coke instead of like caloric intake, and I've played all the heroes in Dota 2. But what is the Binding of Isis or Isaacs? Taught you.
First of all, it's the Binding of Isaac, and
it's a little too retro for its own good. I think the audience would agree.
You say retro, but I see your clothing and it says Metro.
Well, I mean, Metro is what it is, but this is what a real man wears that plays Dota 2. I mean, like I played Slark, I played Bloodseeker, I played all those heroes, and I've excelled at them because that's what I am.
So this is the get-up you.
This isn't a get-up. This is the real thing. I just go out there and I seek the gold, so to speak, and Dota 2 is my gold. But the Binding of Isaacs, that's more like just something where you can't get over your Zelda fetish, so to speak.
Zelda fetish. I mean,
it's just like an old VHS tape, and I've upgraded to DVD. The Blu-ray is Dota 2. I mean, and there's 150 heroes to pick from. How many heroes do you have in the Binding of Isis?
Is the Binding of Isaac.
Okay, Binding of Isaacs. But how many heroes do you have in the Binding of Isaacs? 1, right?
No, there's
1 hero.
There's actually 11.
Yeah, but I mean, they probably all do the same thing though. It's like it's like randomly generated. It's just like,
Well, it's the same. Do you not have the same map every time you go into Dota?
Well, yes, but the gameplay is so different every time. You're playing against other people, but like in fucking Isaacs, it's like you're just jumping into a flower pot like a big poof of straw. It's just the same thing, and you're all alone. It's like an existential journey that doesn't pay it forward.
Well, I'm just saying,
but,
I'm okay with playing this game against the computer.
I'm just saying Isaacs is kind of like Othello to a degree, where it's just a tragedy in the end, and that just kind of makes me sad. But in Dota, you can win constantly if you're good enough at life. You kind of have to belly up and measure up to the plate and hit that ball with the bat, to be good at Dota. So, I mean, that's just what my audience is feeling. I mean, it's kind of like, physics. In physics, you have, different stuff going on, but Isaacs just says, screw all that. Let's just be like randomly generated. But in Dota, it's true to the nature of science. You have 5 heroes Dire, 5 heroes Radiant, and they just go at it with everything they have. They believe in themselves, and that's what I'm trying to get across to my audience. This is the core message that we got to believe in right now. Is that Isaacs just doesn't teach you anything, but Dota 2 has strength heroes, agility heroes, and fire heroes. How many heroes do they have in Isaacs? They have 0 heroes. They don't have anything. They just have a narrative that falls in on itself, all walkie-talkie and slaves around on itself. It's.
Well, you have to understand that. I mean,
I'm a real man, and I like black coffee. I don't have no creamer in my coffee, and I think Dota is an extra fluff on the rim of the cup, so to speak. I mean, I'm sorry, Isaacs is an extra fluff on the rim of the cup. I mean, and Dota is a lean meat fight machine.
You just take it straight? Is that what you're basically telling me?
Yes. I mean, that's the way that I live my life. But I mean, have you ever played beach ball? I mean, against other people. But you can't play against other people in Isaacs. It's just you against yourself.
They actually have a PC version where you can play 2-player co-op.
Right. Well, I mean, that's. Nobody does that right now. You got 700,000 people, Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, just going against each other, just one after another, like a bunch of toothpicks falling through the sky. But I mean, in Isaacs, you have nobody. I don't see anybody on Steam playing against each other in the Binding of Isis.
I do want to stop you and step back and quote something that you want.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to attack your game. I have no problem with your game. I'm just trying to go against.
I feel like I just.
I'm trying to go against this
I
essential
just need
philosophy.
to quote you, and I believe one time you told me the Japanese.
Well, that was recently.
The Japanese
people
need to
change,
quit with that stuff.
People change. Okay. I don't play cartridge video games anymore because I have hairs. I have hairs on my arms. I've grown up. I've grown to be a man. I don't walk around like an old man yet, like with a cane or something. You know, Dota is what real men play. I mean, you can have 13-year-olds play it, yes, but they're a lot more mature than say people that play the Binding of Isaac. So come on.
For the audience that doesn't know, could you please explain what Dota stands for?
It stands for living your life to the fullest. What does Isaacs, the Binding of Isis, stand for? Dota stands for Defense of the Ancient. What does the Binding of Isaac stand for? It defends indie gaming. What is indie gaming? Was Super Mario Bros. An indie game? No. Was Super Mario Bros. 2 an indie game? No. It's pure win. We're talking about professionals here. We're talking about people that wake up every day and they say, I don't give a shit. And in Dota 2, that's exactly what we do. And
let's see how we can ruin everybody's lives by getting them stuck in some.
Well, again, like these 22 inches right here. These 22 inches right here will tell you that Dota 2
Are you measuring from your shoulder to your elbow?
I mean, sometimes I do take into account my shoulder girdle into the measurement. Yes, but I mean, I'm just saying, people that usually play the Binding of Isaac in independent games, they have like. They just don't go out. I mean, I haven't seen these people. I don't talk to them.
Well,
it's more American to me to play Dota.
But I'm going to say right here,
beautiful, bucolic experience.
Seeing those massive biceps that you keep talking about.
I mean, I'm not attacking you personally.
I can't even.
I'm not attacking you.
I see through them.
I just think a bunch of skateboard punks are the ones that play Isaacs. They just skateboard around town and just like break storefront windows and scream at the law enforcement and go, like that. I think like a real man, a guy that has football numbers on his jersey and goes out into the field, and runs and catches that ball. He plays Dota 2. I can't even wait for Dota 3. What's your favorite hero in Dota?
In Dota?
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
I mean, like, do you even have a gun on you right now? Like, do you carry a gun? 'Cause I'm just saying, like, people that play Dota.
I carry a gun?
No, I'm just saying people that play Dota. They're so responsible. They have licenses to carry guns. They're real men in the world. It's just. I mean, it's not funny to me.
So should I be afraid of other Dota players?
I wouldn't be afraid of them. I mean,
just not understand that they're.
I think a real man isn't afraid of shit. It's like a real. I mean, to me, like Isaacs is like Coca-Cola of indie games. I don't mean to attack it, but I mean, what would you say about that if I said Dota's? I mean, Isis, the Binding of Isis is the Coca-Cola of indie games.
Isis is a. It's a.
Well, I mean, we can parse words all day, but I mean, this isn't a debate about semantics. We're on the clock here. And
I'm just trying to say that.
I have a focus meeting to go to right after this debate.
Do you mean a focus group?
I've got to drive my,
AA?
I drink green tea. You understand that? I drink green tea and play Dota. I mean, what is your drink of choice? Let's just have an example blown out in the air right now, audience. Let's have an example from Joe.
I'm just gonna say water.
Water is like one of the most basic, useless drinks a man can put into his system. It feeds nothing, okay? I mean, people that drink, this GMO saturated stuff with sugar, that's the stuff that we have to have in this non-GMO, like pure nothing with no calories. I mean, it's just like kind of like Home Alone 2, I mean, it was so much better than Home Alone. That's, to me, the dichotomy, the balance between Dota 2 and Isaacs. I mean, Isis is caffeinated. And I mean, Isis is decaf, and Dota 2 is caffeinated. That's what I'm trying to say here.
But I have to disagree with you there.
Sports fans,
Home
that's what
Alone
I'm trying to say.
Look, Home Alone 1 has one scene in the very beginning of the movie where he's asking where the cheese pizza is.
I mean, this is the shit I'm talking about. What kind of story is that where they're talking about where a cheese pizza is? I mean, I'd rather like play a game about a block of wood or something flying through the air, like a metaphysical aerodynamic block, just going like that, that's more fun to me than any, thing where a guy's looking for pizza.
Have you seen them YouTube videos?
Okay, so basically you're just saying that the Binding of Isis is a ripoff of, say it with me, audience, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, pizza. I mean, let's go ahead. I mean, how can you even compare anything in the experience of time to, any man born from his mother 200 pounds or more cannot say that Dota 2 is not original. I mean, can you compare 150 heroes battling it out for their lives to anything? I mean, it's like
I guess we could say
the Binding of Isaac is the ASVAB, and Dota is like the SAT for literate people. You know, for the most cream of the crop. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of, you know.
No, I know.
I'm brainstorming here. You know.
Brainstorming on
Right.
what the fuck, I don't know, but.
Anyway, we get to your point. What were you saying that? What was the best part about ISIS compared to Dota? How is it better? What does it offer?
It offers, you know, it's just a simple, fun game.
But I mean, do we really need simple fun? I mean, School of Rock is a fun movie, but I mean, nobody's going to be talking about it 500 years from now.
What you got against Jack Black?
I mean, his comedy is just kind of, there and done it. I'd rather watch like an Andy Kaufman miniseries or something, or something like that, or, just some kind of comedy that's more out there. And to me, that's, you got right to the point that Dota is like, this really highfalutin, higher type of form comedy, and Jack Black is sort of just like, let's go play Parcheesi together comedy. It's just kind of like simple belly laughs to me,
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It takes 3 weeks to learn Dota, even on the basic level. And Isaac's like, all you gotta do is download it. I mean, let's be honest here.
I know, but like, if I'm playing a game, I don't want to sit there and like.
I mean, to me, honestly, I'd see right through the whole fucking thing.
Well,
I ain't got nothing against you personally, but I see through your argument too. And you're falling flat on your face.
I'm not falling flat on my face.
I mean, the whole audience here, I'm sorry, guys.
Saying,
this guy is not representing ISIS clearly.
You're just trying to tell me
you're just scared that I'm a young gun coming out. Bullets blazing, and you don't have the Matrix moves. But I mean, I'm just sorry. I'm a tacky person. I'm sorry about that. I mean, I just believe so much in Dota 2.
No,
I wake up with the game in my hand, the physical copy of the game. I wake up and I just scream for the game at all hours. I just scream for it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you said scream.
I'm talking metaphysically. Meta. So
meta.
Anyway,
meta.
I mean, well, let me tell you something here. This right here. This right here is a real fucking weapon. This is what real men, use. I'm not going to point this at you because I'm a real man, but I'm saying, in Dota, do they have this in Isaac's or real gun? No, they don't. They just have pixelated toys, and.
I mean, everything's pixelated if you want to get down to it.
I'm just saying, this is life. This is this. This is this. Dota, D-O-T-A, Isaac's, too many letters. So, I mean, what else can we say? It's like, sometimes my words rhyme, I don't even try. So, I mean, that's,
You're a poet and you don't even.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I guess I was too metro for you this round.
You're on a.
You didn't even explain the point of the game to me.
I'm
you said
trying
it was good,
to,
simple
but
fun.
talking over you is a.
I'm not trying to talk. I'm not trying to talk over you. I'm trying to raise you to the level of debate that I'm used to. I've debated people.
Where did you learn?
I've debated people from China. I've debated people from the Netherlands. I've debated people from the Bailey's Islands. There's like this island where they sell liquor bottles. I'd sailed to the island. I rode to it, and I debated them. I debated them for 4 straight hours. They left that fucking island. They're gone. Everybody on that fucking island is gone. One time I debated my father. I walked inside of his house. He was like, he had like, some utensils in his kitchen. He was making some cookie dough. I debated him. He started fucking crying. My dad was crying while I was debating him. And I said, well, I guess we'll talk tomorrow or play some cash, Dad. And he was like, yeah. So I knocked on his door. I didn't hear nothing. I opened up the door, and I looked in his room. He was dead as fuck. He was dead. My dad was just dead as motherfucking shit. He couldn't move, and that's because I debated him so well. So, I'm just like, I'm the top bullet in the clip right here. That's what that is. So anyway, so to get back to the core point, what would you say Isis, the Binding of Isaacs, has over Dota 3 that is so superior to all of the things born of a man and woman?
Okay, well, what I will say is, for a game that you're claiming that takes you...
It's not a claim. It's a root evidence in the fucking roots. You can
for
find
a game that takes you 3 weeks to learn, you could be spending...
Sonic Spinball was about as simple as Isaac's.
I actually enjoyed
Sonic Spinball.
I was a very big fan of all the Sonic the Hedgehog games until it got to about GameCube.
To me, it's just like comparing caviar to like a lemon meringue pie, or Isaac's is like, the Binding of Isaac is like nachos and cheese, and my thing is like a homemade apple, tart, just like flying into your mouth and exploding, But to get back to our point, you know, what would you say Isis, the Binding of Isis, has is so different that, you know, from Dota? Makes it so much better.
Well, you know, you have like so many upgrades to every character.
Well, I mean, you have 4. Wait a minute. Well, mathematically, I've already beat you empirically because 150 heroes, 4 abilities, sometimes more than 4. Times that. I mean,
you got so many unlocks for every character.
But I mean, eventually it all has to end. I mean, you know, I mean, you know, that just sounds like some kind of fun.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Playing Dota.
Have you played every map on Dota?
There's only one map, but you only need one map.
That's it.
That's not a valid, you know, argument.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, you know, like, to me, like playing an Isis is like, you know, it's just like
have you even
tit for tat on Halloween.
Isis?
No, I don't have to. It's like just dressing up for Halloween and having fun. But playing Dota is like going to work. You know, it's like, you know, running and Isis is walking. You know, it's just like a baby just crawling around through the ocean, doesn't know where it is. I mean, have you ever seen that? It's disgusting. It's terrible.
I will say this. I got over using the keyboard to play video games on Doom 2.
But Doom 2, I mean, that's like, who plays that anymore?
Nobody plays it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's just dated.
That's like saying, knock, knock, I just listened to an album of White Noise. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, it's like saying, you know, to me, like, playing Dota is like going to war, and what you play is like duck hunting, you know, just hunting ducks and saying, oh, I killed somebody, but you just killed a fucking duck. It don't matter, you know. I mean, excuse my language, audience.
No, there's one character on The Binding of Isaac.
There's 150 characters.
I'm just trying to specify one in general, like specifically. And there's this one character called the Lost.
The Lost.
And he has no health. He starts off with no health, and you cannot upgrade the health at all. So you have one hit. You have you have one chance to go through the whole game perfectly. Like, you can't get that's a challenge.
That's not life.
Are you up for that kind of challenge?
That's not life. That's just like taking a stick and hitting a tire.
Everything you do in life,
hitting a tire and watching it go up the hill and just saying, I'm done, I'm going home. But Dota 2 is like, let's, you know, 5 real people and 5 other real people. And so let's do this. Let's go. Let's get this. You know, I'll play Pudge, you play Ricky, and all these other different heroes, and we just take it to the next level. But, you know, the Binding of Isaac is like, you know, basically, oh, I just got out of bed, I'm so tired.
But, you know,
you know, like that. It's just, it's ridiculous. It doesn't even compare. And the spear, the astral plane of all mankind, you know, any man born of his mother will tell you that Dota 2 is godlike, and that, you know, Isaac's is like a, you know, just a small version of the Scooby Gang, you know, just trying to find some higher truth.
I do have one.
It doesn't count. You know, you know, you look at the ledger. If you went to heaven and asked God about the Binding of Isaac, he would just say, "No, I'm not. You know, I'm not seeing it."
But it's actually a game based on biblical stories.
It's not based on anything. It's just like, it's like, you know, it's like Hercules or you know, the Masters of the Universe. It's not based on anything. It's just not true.
Hercules, there should be Hangman.
I mean, the same thing. It's all just a derivative. And that's what I'm saying about Isaac's. You know, the Binding of Isaac's is basically just this derivative of this guy that he took a drug, read the Bible, and said, let's make a game about it. You know, I mean, it's for a bunch of, like, you know, neo-conservatives in denial is basically, to me, the plot and the overall, you know, I mean, to me, playing Dota is like The Godfather, and Isaac's is like watching a bad episode of Ren and Stimpy, and not the old ones. I'm talking about the new ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Fair enough. Those were terrible.
But I mean, you know, I've played Isaac's for about 5 seconds, and I almost fucking cried. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I didn't even go to work that day. I just called in. I laid down on my bed. I swear to God, like, I almost had a fucking panic attack when I played The Binding of Isaac's, and I played it with a GameCube controller, which is like the recommended controller. The developers even like sent me an email and said, we don't know what's going wrong, David. We're trying to get this, you know, right. We're trying to get everything fixed so you can play it right. And I just started yelling at him because it just wouldn't work, you know. And I just started screaming, you know. And
so you used the GameCube controller?
I mean, you know, I built a fucking goddamn house with my own hands, but I can't play this fucking game. You know, I'm sorry to point the gun at. I can't play this fucking game. But I built the goddamn guest house next to my house, and I got like a king size, you know, California bed, you know. I mean, that's what Dota players have. Do you even have a memory foam bed? I doubt it. You know,
I do have a memory foam bed.
No, I have quilts. It's like an e-gel bed. It's like a gel bed. You know.
When's the last time?
I have a bed with quilts. So many quilts. I open up my closet and goddamn quilts fly out.
Fucking sheets?
I have a quilt with every hero, Dota hero on it. and they fly out at me, and I fucking hug them, and I scream. There's goddamn drool pouring down my fucking chin, and it's just the best thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, you know, you should like be inspired by the shit that I've gone through. I can tell you all this joyous shit.
I do have to say this,
but this is all you have for your argument. Is like money rising. That's the only argument.
No, you know what I do have for an
Sorry
argument.
about that. I'm
No, you're good. One thing I do have for my argument is they're remaking Final Fantasy VII.
That has nothing to do with either game. That has nothing to do with either game.
Booyah.
You were destroyed.
And
I've just punched through you like the center of a tire. I just punched 35 arrow holes through you. But I mean, I'm not attacking you personally, but I think in a deep way you are personally flawed because of the Binding of Isis. I mean, I have nothing against you personally, but I think that your entire life has been fucked over by that game. And I mean,
my entire life.
You had five friends, and now you have two. And the dark is encroaching, my friends. I mean, it's like the famous poet, Max Schmeling once said, "No man is an island." You know, so and it's funny. It's funny, but I mean, I think we both need to admit that our games, I mean, like look at this right here. I mean, this 6-pack. I don't know if the audience can see it from here, but I mean, my intestines are sticking out. I mean, you can see my 6-pack bulging out, and this is from playing 500 hours of Dota 2. You could even see the words coming across the screen. Listen. I mean, I take like supplements. I take anabolic, inhibitors. I take vitamins, vitals. I take vitality boosters. I take Klitschko balls. I take. But anyway, I'm just saying, like you can feel it. You almost feel the energy cracking in the room just because of Dota 2. It's like Dota 2. It's like DOTA scrolling across the screen. You can't stop it. I mean, you can't even. You have to at least feel it in the base of your fucking scrotum. Dota 2 compared to the Binding of Isaac, you just can't even. You can't even get to that place. I'm just saying. Can you not feel my energy? Anyway, I'd just like to thank everybody for watching the show, and I really appreciate it, and Joe for allowing me to debate. And we all just, we'd like you to know that whatever happens is that Dota 2